Hi Arvind, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, hi Arvind.
Hi Gaurav,
Good afternoon.
how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, going good. Thanks for asking.
Okay, Arvind, are we waiting for any additional panel?
No, I guess we can start.
Okay, fine. You can start then. I'll drop off.
No problem.
Yeah, bye. All the best, Gaurav.
Yeah, thanks.
Gaurav, can I please switch on your
Yeah, yeah,
camera, please?
sure. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, just to give a brief introduction about yourself, what technical skills you work on, and what is your strength in the technical side.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I'm Gaurav. I'm from Ujjain. I've been working in software technologies for around 9 years. I started with PHP and website development, and I switched to um the .NET, where I work with mechanical designs and through coding using the uh, open graphics libraries and all this. Then I there switched in Java, where I have created using WebGL and all these things. Then I switched to this Spring Boot and all this. And I have been working in this for around 6 years, and I have worked
Okay.
with Java 8, Spring Boot, microservices, and yeah. So and databases in database I have worked with MySQL and Oracle. Yeah,
So you have total 9 plus experience in which how much
six
experience in Java?
and six plus.
6 plus you are working with Java.
Yeah,
I mean Java and other related technology we can
yeah.
say. Okay. You work with Java, Spring Boot, and what else?
Yeah, microservices.
Okay, microservices, databases. Database, which database you use?
MySQL I have used MS SQL, little of DB2 and Oracle.
Spring Boot, micro database. Any other technology I'm missing?
Uh, like these are the main things, right? Front end, I have worked a little in, like here and there, some fixes in React and these things I have worked in it.
Okay, that's fine. Java, which version you work on?
Java 8.
Okay. And you started with the Java 8 or previously worked on some other version and then migrate to the Java 8 something? Or
Java
started
7
with the Java
and
8?
8. Yeah, Java mostly 8 I have worked mostly. Right, yeah. Uh,
And your microservices is something your legacy application you migrate to the microservices, or it's a new microservice architecture you prefer in the project?
that was when I started working there. That was already a microservice architecture.
And currently you're working as
As a
individual contributor or
sorry.
handling a team? Currently you're working as a individual contributor or handling any team?
Yeah, mostly individual only I'm working. But if like not officially, but if some peers are having some issue, then we would discuss. Yeah.
Product. Okay, let's start with Java. I mean, we'll go ahead with the Java, Spring Boot, understanding of the microservices, and then some on the if time permit, we can go to the database. Is that okay?
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
Yeah. So Java 8, what feature you like most?
In Java, it like Spring. The Streams API is good, and
Okay.
the uh, the optional class is also very useful.
Okay. Why you like stream?
Because like it shorten the code and it fasten also. Like it whenever whenever we need means all the intermediate operations when there are there, uh, and we can means it will faster internally, because on the terminal operation only those data it will take which is required. Okay, so this is the internal one. But if we talk about, like, if we want to create a map of suppose some ID and some data. Okay, so if we write in those older technologies, it would take like 2-3 lines of code, and it may um, yeah so and in streams we can write in 2 lines. Yeah, some smart, some shorter code, and easy to understand, and internally also it's good, and we leverages we leverage the collection and all these things, so it's quite
Okay.
good.
So I'll give a scenario, right? I give you a scenario. So there are 100 objects in the list. So the map that you're converting, for example, I have the employee object in the list. The output of that will be like key will be employee ID and value will be employee object. Right. So comparing between the old legacy application, legacy for loop, not application, legacy for loop, and Stream API. So maybe Stream dot something, you do something intermediate operations and then you collect as a map. If I use the traditional for loop, for I is equal to 0, I is less than 99, I plus plus, and you created the map. So performance wise, which one better? Excluding the parallel processing in the stream.
Okay. So if we talk about you are using only one for loop, right? And the same.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We don't need another for loop because we
Yeah.
just create getting one value and putting in the map. That's fine.
Yeah. So when we are creating this for loop and getting the values to the map, right? That's all we are doing. So for this case, I think uh, both are like similar only. Maybe the streams would be faster. Uh, so like we are getting an ID and employee ID and employee data, and we are we will just collect it, and means it will be only 2-3 operations. So I think streams will be faster.
Yeah, because my next question will be why. Because why you think stream will be faster? Because we are doing the same thing, just creating the map. Line of code will be increased little in the existing for loop.
Yeah. If we exclude the parallel processing, then so why? So in for loop means I think in the streams when we are not using the parallel processing, it will go to the collect method, and then we will provide the ID and the name, and internally it will iterate only. So I think for this use case, for loop will be faster, because it is just uh, this thing we are getting the things, and putting into the map. So internally streams will be also doing the same, right? So the for loop will be faster for this case, because it's a small operation and both are like similar.
If I have the millions of objects in the list, still you consider the for loop is the better or stream is the better
Mm.
with the same operation. I'm not changing the operations, only just one object creating the map. No heavy operations is doing, but volume is bigger.
Yeah. If the volume is bigger, just the loop. Okay. Just the volume is bigger, and we are using for loop, and the other one is the streams API. So I think that it will be similar, like, because it's not parallel processing, and but I would go for stream. Okay. Yeah, because it's smaller and code and more understandable, and uh, and it's on the new technology. Uh, so so yeah, I think I'm not very sure about the which will be the faster.
So yeah, that's fine. So why in the stream they provided the terminal operations? What is the use of terminal operations? What will happen? Maybe they put some thought process. Terminal operations must be there while processing the streams. What benefit? I mean, if they are not there, what would be happen?
Yeah. So when there is a terminal operation is there, if we don't provide the terminal operation, right? So all the intermediate operation, what are they doing? They are creating a stream. One, we have got the list, and we call the function dot stream, and then we again called like filter or sort or something. Then they are just creating another stream. They are not useful. We can just get those in some object, but to get the output we need to convert it to something, to collect it or something, right? So all the terminal operation are to get out of this, to get out of something, means we get out of the
But
stream.
stream, maybe think that stream, right? Maybe I can pass the stream to the other process. They can process the stream. That is also doable. Why we need to collect in the list or map? Because it's just like collections. There is a provision like either you must have to collect in this list or map. I don't think so. That must be the reason, because it is not mandatory to collect everything as a list. They have given the provision, but maybe think of, if we are thinking on the other side, give me the stream, I'll pass the stream to the other process, they process the stream. That is also doable.
Yeah, so yeah, but what they will do with that stream, that they will get the things out of it, right? So until you provide the terminal operation, it will not process it. It will it will just uh, yeah, it will be just in the
Lazy in
process.
nature.
Yeah. So like whenever we call the terminal operation, then only it process, because it's lazy in nature.
Yeah, that is an interesting point. Why they are lazy in nature, maybe. So there's might be some reason that I think that give me something unless or until I can't process. Maybe they are thinking about something like, if you provide me, then I'll process. But might be some thought process behind this terminal operations, and then they treated as a lazy operations. You guess that what might be the thought process behind? It's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're not, that's fine.
Yeah. So what I think, like, so that the phase there are two phases, like one is the intermediate and one is the terminal. So like if we got this stream and we got it sorted, okay, so uh, like so the stream is when if we pass the stream also, it will not uh, it will not be useful. They'll have to create the terminal operation only, and the operations will be accumulated, not uh, not finalized.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah, no problem. Now I'll give other scenario. Okay, so I have two interfaces.
Okay.
Both the interfaces contain same method.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe adding up to integer number. Both signature are same.
Okay.
If one
Signature.
class implementing everything same. If one class implementing two interfaces, what will happen?
Okay, so there will be a diamond problem. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever like two interfaces are there and they are having the same method, right, same name, and all those things are same, and one class is implementing the both of the implement. So there will be like um, the it will confuse that which one to call, and it will give so we'll have to specify that
Who will confuse in this, right? Who will confuse while calling that method?
yeah, so the compiler will give error.
Okay.
Yeah, that this is like not workable. Okay, so what will
But diamond problem is for classes, not for interfaces. That's why the solution they come up with the interfaces.
yeah, the diamond problem was there in the interfaces. That's why the multi-level multiple inheritance is not here in the in the Java, right? So uh, means this is similar to the diamond problem only, right? So so uh, either we can override it, okay, or we can use the name of the interface, that this dot print or this dot like that.
Okay.
So yeah, so it doesn't confuse.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Other question that I have is on the concept. So you have engine and key, two classes we have.
Engine and key, yeah.
Key and engine. When it's on the key, engine should on. So these two classes, how you will build the relation between these two? These are two different classes, right?
Yeah.
I have to build a relation between these two, like key must be on, then engine should on. But classes representations, what OOPS concept you will use? You will use inheritance. There are OOPS like encapsulation, polymorphism, whatever it is. Like what do you think? How you will build the relation between these two?
Yeah. So like if we talk about the engine and key, both are the part of the car. So uh, because engine cannot work without the key, right? So
Yep.
Key can be inherent part of the engine. So it can be composition. No. Composition cannot be there because key cannot be a part of engine, right? It has to be separate only. So this will be no, not composition, the aggregation will be there, right? So the car will have engine also, and the
If you don't mind, can you please share your screen? Maybe there, okay, you can write a class of engine and class of key.
yeah.
Then how you build the relation between these two.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
It's just slow little.
Yeah, no problem. Just a notepad is fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't need any ID.
Okay. So suppose there is a class car is there. Okay. And
Okay, we will focus on the engine and key, because again you start building the relation between car, engine and key, you will get confused. So better one object, one class.
will
We
be
can go ahead.
engine, and another class is key.
Key, yes.
Okay, these only. Now we have to okay. So we can pass this key to the engine, and it will work. Okay, so we'll do the composition in this case. Okay. Composition will be good, like we'll have key. If we are not using car or class, then this will be better, because whenever the engine will start, we'll pass the key, and the composition would do. If the key is there, then or we can say, like if while we are creating uh, the engine object. Okay, so suppose we are creating this engine object, and we can pass this key here. Okay, and if we provide this one, then the default constructor will not be provided, and if the key is there only, the engine would work.
So who contains what? Key contains engine or engine contains key? Sorry, the
Engine is compositing key.
Okay. Then how engine will start?
The engine would, whenever the engine has to be started, the key has to be given. Okay.
Yeah.
So in some working which is having a main method. Okay. So we'll have to have this to call this engine. Okay, then pass. Suppose we are passing this new key. So the new key will be passed here, and then we'll get the engine object.
No, I guess you're passing. So what will happen from the user? Think from the user perspective. You have to build the relation between these two. So key, I mean, is not like key must be unique for that engine. See, if user pass any key, you are accepting the key.
Okay, in that case, you have to. Okay, got it. So like the key has to be unique to particular engine.
Ideally, yes, right? Because one
Yeah.
engine contains one key.
Right. So for like we'll have to so this key has to be specific.
Okay, that's fine. So are you still proposing to have the composition or still thinking another way to implement this one?
Okay, got it. So not composition, association. This engine and this is a key. They cannot be inheritance. Okay. Encapsulation.
Why can't be inheritance?
Inheritance cannot be there because key is not an engine, right? So either engine cannot inherit the properties of key, and key cannot inherit the properties of engine. Okay. There can be association, whole part, or composition. Like engine is key is already belonging to engine, so composition can be there, or association.
Okay. Okay. What will happen if you delete the engine object? The key should be also deleted.
Sorry?
What will happen if we delete the engine object or engine object somehow vanish, then key should be deleted as well, or key object still survive because you build the relation between engine and key.
Yeah.
So if someone try to delete the engine object, so the key should be also deleted or key can be excluded.
Because keys are very tightly coupled with the engine, so there has to be destroyed with the engine. Key cannot. Key doesn't have a separate existence.
So this is the composition or aggregation.
I think this is this is composition, aggregation. This is composition, right? One cannot survive without
Okay. Now, how you will make engine object as immutable in this case?
Okay. So we don't want the engine to be changed. Okay. And We'll remove this or we'll keep it. We'll keep this. So
Yeah, we'll keep this here. We'll keep this.
and while creating this, sorry, we'll create the constructor private. Okay. Okay, and the constructor is private. So sorry, I went to the another pen. Okay, so constructor is public. Okay, and final class is there. Just a minute, I'll take it. We are working about the immutability, right? And the engine class is there. It is final. We don't want it to be changed, so we will create this private, and we will not provide the setters. We will provide the getters only. Okay. We will provide public getters, public get key. Okay. Now the key is immutable, right? So we will provide the copy of key. Okay, so so it will return key has to be copied. So we will have some functionality in key where so we will return a new key. Okay. Or we'll provide the keys values here. Okay.
But key which returning a new object. What should I do with the key? Like you are just initialize in the constructor.
so-
no one will use it.
Yeah, so we'll give the key secrets. So the secrets will be passed to the new key, or we can clone this. Yeah, we can clone the key also. Yeah, and so this get key will be returning the clone, and this is all the setters are not available, and the getters are there, and the objects will be created by the constructor only, and yeah, and
Okay.
we'll provide the clone. Yeah, so here instead of this we can provide the clone where the key has to be clonable. Okay,
That's fine. So why make the class as a final?
yeah, so it doesn't get extended. Okay.
Because even if the constructor is a public, so final no one can extend. That's why. And your variable still a private, that's okay, right?
Yeah.
So do you need to make that final as well?
Which one?
Line number 4.
Yeah, you can create this file.
Do we really need that final?
Uh, from because actually we are not exposing this, and if we provide this final, and then this has to be only uh, initiated through the constructor. Okay, and no other method can initiate this. Okay, so this is good that we could keep it final, because uh, we don't want this to be uh, means anyways, it's good to keep it final.
But
Otherwise,
why? Why not to make it as final? Because you are not giving a direct exposure to the
yeah,
private key.
yeah, we are not giving any exposure outside this, but yeah, so this is not very um, required, but if we, yeah, the finalists, they don't
What
know.
is the use of final keyboard? Like if I make a private key as a final, so in that case, what will happen? Like, does anyone can change the object, or does allow to change the reference? I mean, inside content as well. So why we give any variable as a final? I'm talking about the object only. Your key is object.
Yeah.
So if I say as a final, what we are restricting for that object?
So for if the key has to be means if the key, if the object is final, then uh, then the you cannot change the reference to that. Means the object reference will not change. Yeah, it will stick to that.
But what about the content? Key content, the key ID, key name, so anyone can go ahead and change the name.
No,
I'm talking about only the. No, I'm not talking about the immutability.
Okay.
In case of other scenario, if I make a final and I given the access to setter and getter, even if that is a final, I can provide the getter and setter as well, right?
Right. So
the property I can set or get.
Right. So you can do that.
That is allowed, or that is something compiler will say that not allowed?
No. Only the reference will be final. The contents will not be final. If we just put this, that's why we need to create this gate key and create this copy. What I'll do, the clonable is implemented, so we'll do clone of this. Okay.
No, that's fine. For immutability, you make a clone. I'm talking about the other scenario. If I provide the setter here, even if I make it as a final,
yeah, so the key
anyone
content
can
be
go ahead and
changed.
set.
Yeah.
No, even if I pass the other reference and I put the setter method, is it allowed? The same scenario, you make it as line number 4, make this as final, and you can give a setter where it will accept the key object and set to the set key. Yeah, this dot key is equal to you are passing the key. Yeah, this is allowed.
This is not allowed. It will give compilation here. This dot key equal to key. This is not allowed because this is final.
Okay. Yeah. So what collection you work on?
The collections I have worked on, like HashMap, I have worked on queue set and uh, linked list. Yeah.
So Hasset you worked on Hasset?
Yes, yes. I have worked on HashMap.
Okay. What is the internal data structure they use for storing the object in the Hasset?
Okay. So for storing, like headset are considered as a means every node in the headset is considered as a bucket and called as bucket, and it contains the linked list or a tree set. Okay. Um,
So Hasset internally use map?
Sorry.
Hasset internally use map?
Headset internally uses like linked list and internally used linked list, and means in Java 7 they used linked list, and then now they are using tree. In Java 8 they have implemented tree.
Now considering this performance like scenario where I have 1,000 object list with me, I need to search the element on basis of index. What I'll use? I'll use HashMap or array list.
Okay. You have to search on the basis of index, right? So you would use array list because array list is based on array. So arrays are like a sequential object in the memory. So as soon as because there is a search heavy operations we are performing, so as soon as because this is just linear search will be there, so it will be easy. Okay,
But
and
HashMap, why not HashMap?
because HashMap is like uh, it is using the means it will create uh, so it is index based search, right? So uh, so when you are using this indexed based search, then the array list is better because it uses array. The hash map is not recommended because um, it will create the hash code, and will check for the all the buckets that which is having hash code, so it will search for that and then get for the object. Okay,
That
so
will be faster then because you locate the index and directly fetching the object. That will be faster rather than going one by one, because if 1,000 element in the list, I have to travel those many objects rather than HashMap quickly locate the index and give it the object.
no, because the hash map can have hash collisions. Okay, so when the hash collision is happening, so uh, in the
Consider the case. I mean, I'm not hash consider collision. I'm ignoring for now.
okay, so if you are if all the objects are different, okay,
Yeah.
then uh, if all the objects are different, and if all the objects are different and there are uh, hash, if the hashing is there. So the hash maps are stored on the heap. Both are on this. So still for searching purpose, because
How wireless will search the element? So if I need to fetch the 800th element from the 1000 number of object, does that search one by one?
no, it doesn't search one by one, because the array is the underlying object, right? So what happens, like it will directly go memory byte into 800, and it will reach to that object directly.
Okay. Now I'll give one more scenario regarding the exception. So there is a scenario we already work on the payment kind of domain. So there is where I need to define my own exception. Maybe user providing the card detail, and we are looking into the database like card detail present or not. Then we are throwing the exception, card not found. Or we do basic validation and we say that card not found something. So how you will write your own exception, which will be
Okay.
which will be
Yeah, got your point.
behave as the exception.
Yeah. So that is like we will suppose card not found exception is there, right? We have to create card not found exception. So what we will do is we will create a class and extend it with a runtime exception. Okay, because the runtime exception is the one where all the because we want this card not found exception to be thrown at the runtime, right? So as soon as we want to throw this card not found exception, suppose card is not found and we have put this in
how
the,
you will write that exception?
Okay.
How you will write that exception?
I'll write the class here. Okay, so suppose here is the class. The class name is card not found exception, and sorry,
Yeah, that's
and this will extends runtime exception. Okay, so now we'll have to implement the this will this is now have all the properties of the runtime exception, so this can be thrown. Okay, so
are you sure on this, or this is the extension or implementation?
Runtime exception is a class or interface. No, this is a class only, no, not an interface. So this is an this is a class only, so we have to extend only.
Why runtime?
We can do the exception also, but we said that in convention that which is most relevant, we put that one. So
okay, so I need to understand that what criteria you will decide like this is a relevant to taking as runtime or exception.
Yeah, so I explained this, right? So as I told you that we are gonna throw this at runtime. Suppose in the working class in somewhere uh,
Mm.
where where we have tried to find and find the card and
Yeah, you're trying to find something at the back end, not found. They're throwing the this card not found exception, but that can be achievable with the extend exception as well.
yeah. So so the runtime exception also is the child of exception only. So
Yeah.
yeah. So there is a hierarchy on there. On the top is the throwable, then the exception, then there is a runtime exception. Okay.
Mm.
So the runtime exception is what we use because we are mostly handling those with the uh, runtime thing, right? Now, so whenever
I'm still not able to convince myself, right? Runtime, when you say runtime, that means you check the condition and throw the exception, right? So here I am doing the same thing where new, throw new, card not found exception. In both the cases, even if I extend from the runtime exception or extend from the exception.
yeah
I'm more particular on the why you select runtime exception.
okay, so got your point. So there is no hard and fast rule that we have to use runtime only. So we can use exception also.
That's fine. Now quickly jump to the string. Why Java makes string classes immutable? What they're trying to achieve while making the immutability?
So there are multiple reason for that. Like suppose just a minute, I'll get some water if you don't mind.
Yeah. Got it. No problem.
Yeah, thanks. So there are the string has to be um, immutable because strings are the mostly used things in any programming languages. So re- to reserve the space, we use this thing called string pooling. Okay. So as soon as the object is same, so multiple string can refer to the same object. What if it's not mutable? If the objects can be changed, if it's not immutable, then other objects may change. Okay. And other one is uh,
So do you think it's not a problem? Do you think it's a problem, right?
yeah.
So you are making your so many references pointing to one string. If something changed, those many objects are impacted.
Yeah.
The one who point to the same string.
Yeah. This is one of the reason, and another reason is the security, where all the data is string, and we are passing the variables and all this. These are also string, and if they change, um, so this will be a problem. Okay, and
Okay, let me try to understand first one.
yeah.
So you mentioned two problems. So
Yeah.
pooling is the one. So do you think immutability is required for pooling? Because just you're putting the object in the one pool. So why we need immutability there?
So there will be inconsistency because now what we are doing, we are leveraging one string for different purposes, right?
But generally, if looking at the project level, I mean, we never define the string, you define the string very specific to the customer, very rare possibility, or because, I mean, that's fine, they keep the thought process, but do you think that is a valuable thought they have put?
Yeah, because we can only we can just anticipate. Only the creator of the string would confidently tell that these are the things which we have created this immutable, but we are anticipating this because this could be possible scenarios where it could be going wrong. In the security purpose also, it will help. And
How that will help to the security purpose?
Yeah, because we are using these strings in the and suppose we are passing some string, okay, and if some other objects changes it, okay, if it is not immutable, and some other objects is changing it, and then it might not do the intended work, right? So we
Yeah, but
want
other object allowed, I mean, string is allowed to change. Anyone can go ahead and change, because customer name and ID to string properties. Anyone can always set properties. I am assigning the different value for that customer object. So where is the security for my customer name and ID? You're talking about that security, right? Or me? Does I misunderstood?
like we are passing the database string also, the SQL string also, so many where the string is being used, that's why it is immutable, right? So yeah, in that case we are we can encode it in those cases when you are saying.
Let's jump to the, sorry, I'll take a minute more. So you use Spring Boot for your microservices, right? So how you handle the exception in the Spring?
Yeah, so for Spring, we have this global exception handling. Okay,
So it is what is that? It is an
controller.
interceptor or filter?
It is an interceptor. Okay, so there is a.
What is the difference between these two, interceptor and filter?
So the interceptor are like we can say interceptor are like something which comes which comes in between, and
Okay, can I launch two Spring container on same JVM?
okay, so launch to container, Spring container, right? Java version.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry. Yeah, I'm done from my side. So I need to jump other as well. Let me know if you have any questions for me.
Yeah, like it was nice talking to you. Thanks, and yeah, no question.
No question. Okay. All right. I'll submit my feedback to HR and they'll get back to on this one.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Sure. No problem. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.